I'm Will Forge, and today we will forge. Oh, my mic is over here. Wonder if you could even really hear me very well just now, but we'll see. Okay, I mean the mic is lighting up, so I assume you could hear me. Okay, so we've got a bunch of lighting improvements. We can actually see what's happening in this central structure. Yeah, some reflection volumes set up. We have to set up a few more. So if you've never done that before, I'll be kind of demoing how to do it. I've only just learned. For example, when you're here, you might notice that that flag is bouncing off of the wrong place. That shouldn't be bouncing off there. That shouldn't be bouncing off here. It needs to be more of a, it should be more of a straight line, I would expect. This is kind of strange, right? That's because there is no reflection volume set up over here for this bridge. There is one in here. Well, no, that's in the red side. There's one on the red side over here. Right? And that allows that flag to sort of reflect off the floor and areas around it, presumably. But mostly in the bases I have it set up. So what I've got over here, you'll notice this nice flag reflection off the ground. And you'll see that it very much so applies accurately. Like there's a sloped surface, so it doesn't reflect exactly straight off like that. But you can see it's even, you can even almost make out the insignia almost. Now we're gonna keep going. Ooh, I've got it on top chat again. I hate that it does that. I wish it would default to live chat. Like if I was a much larger YouTuber, then sure. You can go ahead and have me do live chat, but I mean top chat, but as a smaller YouTuber, I want that thing defaulting to top chat. Okay. So we're going to want to do the interiors of this with a reflection probe, for example. Most players are going to be down at around here. So we're probably going to hover it right around there so that it'll reflect all these lights off the walls and stuff better. But before we do any of that, we got to select our lights as a, let's see, as a, you know, our current working folder, because we don't want any of this nonsense. I still have to resort a little bit because I realized now that I'm doing lighting, we really should be putting the lighting into, here we go. Now we're going to select that. It says working folder because we do not want that stuff all spawning in the wrong spot. Okay, here we go. Generic light objects. Reflection volume. Put this right here. And then you just want to, be a little bit around where, pretty close to where people's heads will be, but you can put a little bit above where people's heads would be in this case. For example, because I've got this upper area up here, I want it to sort of be like, essentially think of it this way. The objects you want to reflect like that need to be, the orb needs to be somewhere between that object and you, pretty close to almost identical. I mean almost a straight line, as close as you can get it, like up here to there, there to there. This one is not going to reflect very well from this angle because of the fact that it's just this, you know what I mean? So you can see it's already using like a sort of a defaulted sort of reflection volume here, and it's not bad. A reflection system there, I guess. It's not really all that bad, but yeah. We're going to go ahead and set up our own reflection volume, and that's going to be a little bit better. Let's see. I've arrived. I've had the last 2 days off, so I've just been sitting at home and forging and watching these live streams. Well, I appreciate it, Jack. What have you been forging? I think, did I ask you that before? Maybe I asked you that before. Ooh, what is happening? Why is it not? I could have sworn you could just scale this and it would change the volume. I'm not sure why it's not. Oh, it's weird. That's weird. I don't think I remember that happening before, but for some reason it is scaling in the wrong directions. Let's go up and down at the same time. There we go. That should fill that void. There. Let's see. Yeah, the one map with the big preface. Right. I did ask you that then, for sure. Yeah, that sounds like a really cool map. And I was talking about Beast Wars afterward. So of course I asked you. We went through a whole conversation afterward. Some days I will forget what I had for breakfast, though. The previous day or the same day. Ooh, this reflection volume made everything way too bright. Maybe that reflection volume was a mistake. You can't tell. It didn't make it up there, though. Like, up there is all weirdly dark, and there's a weird threshold there. So I need blend. Let's see. It won't be a mistake if I just blend it. Let's see. See, and that's where blend distance comes in. You blend over 10 squares, then that's pretty good. Type prism sphere. I actually don't know what these do. Does anyone else know what this does? Parallax is on. I wonder. I don't know enough about them to to tell you about parallax being on or not for these, and I was told that it sort of makes it almost like it prioritizes them, but as just as like a side effect of it being on or off, where you can kind of have like a littler one in a bit inside of a bit. Ooh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. Let's just fly up there and see. Like, you can put like a littler one inside of a larger one. Ooh, this bug is weird. Oh, does anyone else see this sometimes? Or like you bounce inside of the ground? Okay. So that looks much better. The threshold is still there, and we're going to need to adjust it. That looks a little bit better. I'm beginning to think, though, that there might be... Let's see, maybe I need to build lighting. Yeah, it is a good idea to build lighting, apparently, earlier on. I didn't, obviously. It took me a long time to actually get around to doing this. Let's see. So, I think I'm going to do my blending to, like, 13, because that might completely... add parallax correction to reflections from this volume. I don't know what parallax correction means. Type sphere. Changes the domain of the reflection volume. Okay. Versus prism. Okay, so... I'm going to have to change just one of these at a time. And then we will see. Okay. So... this is going to be still sphere. Okay, this is still sphere, but the blend has been fixed. Okay. And then we're going to switch it to prism. Alright, I'm going to take this in as best I can before switching. And then give it a shot with prism and see what changes. Like how much, if it'll be better or worse, and all that. I think in this case, it doesn't make a difference. Like, not a majorly noticeable one, anyway. Like, you know, there are probably a lot of cases where it does make a difference, but in this case, I don't think it does. But yeah, one of the things that that I was talking to Computron about was reflection. I mean, emissive objects instead of lights, and I'm tempted to give that a try because essentially reflection volumes will make those emissive objects bounce off all the walls and give an effect like it's lit up. I don't think they cast shadows, like dynamic shadows, on players, so I don't know if they are better than having lights set up in all these rooms. But yeah, it seems like it might be something to just explore a few times. Oh yeah, and then these, the big reflection volumes in the whole map, I was going to increase the blend what do you call it, I was going to increase the, oh, you can't do two at the same time, unfortunately, apparently. I was going to increase the blend distance. I'll do 13 on these, because they're so much larger. And that will make it even better, you know, blending here in the middle. You kind of sort of see where it kind of progresses between one to the next there, and I wanted to get that a little bit smoother. Let's see. Let's rebuild this and see how that looks. But yeah, building lighting apparently is something I thought I put off building lighting to the very end because I was afraid of that, you know, warning that says, you know, it creates dirty data. And apparently we don't need to be afraid of that. Because, yeah, 343, the Forge Lord was talking about, when do you build lighting? How often do you build lighting? Like, what's your work progress? Your work process, basically, on Twitter. So I assume he's actually expecting us to do so. Ooh, that's weird. It's a weird darkness threshold. That would be the transition between this. Like, this is where you get like really good, you know, lighting probe density is whenever you place one of these. This is a light probe marker, and you only get one of these in your entire map. So you want to fill up your map as best you can, but more importantly, focus on the areas like this with complex geometry. That's what he was teaching me yesterday. So down here, we've got it outside of that. And you can see it's creating a weird threshold between the upper area and the lower area. And that would be because in our global lighting settings, we've got the probe spacing at 15, which is creating very few probes. But whenever we increase this, it's going to look a lot better. So if we bring this, not increase this, whenever we decrease this, whenever we have more probes, like if we go to here, right? And what we can do is actually go over here and, where are they? Light data, turn them on. You can see they're really dense inside of that box that we had selected, and not so dense outside of it. And this is before baking it, so there's going to be more of these after I bake it, because it's just, you know, I brought down the distance between them. But down here, there's so few of them that, especially right around here, it looks like there's like a gap between like that one and then the actual, like, almost all the way up in the actual box itself. So that's why there's this weird threshold here of difference. But hopefully increasing it like I just did will make it a little bit better. Bro, you decided to stream the only time of the week that I'm at the gym. Sorry about that. Yeah. Well, I hope you can. Are you listening at the gym then? Is that what you're saying? Like right now, you're just listening at the gym? Cause oh wait, let me get some music going. That way you can at least, if you are listening at the gym, you have some Halo music. How's that? That's what I typically have going. Okay, let's see if this crashes the build. Lighting. I also have Halo 2 in the background, because I had pulled it up to review, to make sure I got the bridge lighting correct on the sides of the map, and I forgot to close it. So, I don't know if I need it anymore, but I might check out lighting of other rooms and stuff. Let's see. Got some music going, and we're waiting for the build. Oh look, there's an announcement in my Discord that I'm streaming. I like this thumbnail. It's a little bit better than all my other thumbnails. By a lot, I think. Personally, I think it looks better. So there's actually, by the way, there's going to be... so the Halo Twitter and on Waypoint, they just did a... what do you call it? A Forge Features showcase. Where Pete got a lot of attention on there, which is pretty cool. He what's his full name? I forget. Anyway, he Vid Games Pete, that's it, on Twitter. And he made a bunch. He made some maps, or at least one map that's on there. But he got his scripting basics video featured. And it's pretty cool looking. I'm really excited about all these maps they just revealed, or they just featured. And then also on top of that, they have they're talking about what do you call it? Back to chat. They're talking about there's a new commercial coming out, or I think an ad coming out for season 3, which is coming out today. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, I know. Building out the lighting takes some time, so sorry about that. Season 3 trailer is at 1:30 Pacific time. Okay. 1:30 Pacific time. So what is that? What is that my time? Let's see. Nope, that's not giving me what I wanted. I wanted to see what was my time. I can't think for some reason right now. Yep, not working. Pacific time is, yeah, okay. Yeah, so that's, what is that? Okay, 3:30 my time. Yeah. Just wanted to look it up to make sure I was right for adding 2 hours. Yes, 3:30 my time. So it will be well after the stream is over, unfortunately. But that would be cool to be able to go and check out. But like on stream, but that's okay. Let's see. Start the stream. Get some people in. Hit the build button. Make it boring. Don't know what possessed me to build lighting on stream first thing. Maybe I should just cancel this build, but it's practically done by now. Let me go ahead and close out of Halo 2 because I was just like flying around in the Ghost and looking at lighting. I don't think there is any particular area that I have to adjust right now. These are like really bright by comparison in mine, but in this little hallway, I don't know if you can see in the corner, but yeah. So there are a couple things I might want to adjust with reflections that I could use. Like the reflection could be, it's really dark up high, like pitch black, but if I put a reflection volume down low, it'll increase the reflection bouncing of the emissive objects down underneath these little panels here, which will make it brighter down low where the player is. So that's going to be something I'm going to show you in a minute. I think that will work. And then I need to work with emissive objects up here. Oh, I never put that light in. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad I'm walking around in here. That explains why it's so dark in this room in mine. There's like a weird darkness there that I didn't realize. Okay, my lights are finally baking. Here we go. Finally done baking. Now hopefully it doesn't crash the game. Let's game over this Halo 2 and close it out so we don't have that in the background. And then while that thing downloads some of the lighting or whatever. The first thing you always want to do after you build lighting right now is this is the very first thing you always want to do. Okay, so you want to get out and you want to save the map, because if it crashes immediately afterward, then you will at least not have to rebake the lighting. Okay, so that didn't make enough of a difference because the probes weren't increased enough to make it to really differentiate from up above and down below. It didn't make a difference there. But I guarantee you there's a little bit of difference somewhere in the map that we just didn't see the before and after. Anyway, yeah, so we're going to do, like I was just saying, let's do these tunnels. I was messing with these and struggling to figure out a good way to do them before, but I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put one here. Let's see. And apparently these, not all of them are broken apparently. This one is not broken. I don't know what was going on with that other one where it was like whenever I scaled on the x-axis it was doing the y and it was like didn't make any sense. But yeah, basically I'm gonna put this in this tunnel this way and sort of like put it inside of that wall and then just right so that we'll have like a little bit of this flag maybe bouncing off of some objects. and it's going to be centered this way, and that will create a good spot. And then I'm going to also duplicate it and put it over here down low to sort of create some sort of catch these emissive objects and make it let's see, scale it out this way. We'll try and put it right inside of that little entrance plinth, but I'm going to have to adjust it a bit afterwards. So the main thing is down low, like these. Those are reflecting enough that it won't be a big deal. I will probably want to increase the height, though, to include those. And maybe bring it this way and sort of try to center it so that it'll go out to that plinth again, and then that means it's going to go to the edge of the hall, and then that should be overlapping with the other one, and then we just adjust. I was hoping the up would be faster to get to the bottom. Oh, I'm in the wrong menu. There we go. I do that a lot. I don't know about you guys. So I'm on 10 already, so that's pretty good. Type prism. Okay. And then that should be better. This one's also prism because that's where I duplicated that from. And the last thing that I need to do is check left to right. Yeah, see, it's way too wide, as you can see, because I based it off of that other one. So we want to bring it in to where it's just the hallway. And bring it maybe inside the walls instead of outside the walls, so it doesn't worry about reflections on the outside here. Just because that would make it more efficient at processing, I would assume. So we've got it just inside the walls, just barely inside the walls. Okay. So then it's going to kind of wrap around here, but yeah. And let's go ahead and save it, and we're going to build out not the lighting, but just the reflection volumes, which takes like 2 seconds. And reflection volumes are the easiest thing to rebuild. And what Computron was saying yesterday was that you want to build out your lighting, and then your reflection volumes, and then your lighting and your reflection volumes, your lighting and reflection volumes, sort of back and forth to try and get it as accurate as possible at the end, or every now and then, or something to that effect. Oh, did you see that bouncing? It was happening again. Okay, so this is clearly not low enough because it's not seeing my emissive objects. It sort of is, like we're getting this blue reflection coming off of, I think, the grenades. You see that blue glow that's on the walls? That's sort of coming off the grenades, I think, because now the grenades are gone, you might notice it's still there. That's from that reflection volume, I think, is picking up the grenade. You know, it's all the way out here as well. So because of the glow of those grenades, we're getting a blue glow across the whole room, which is probably something that someone is going to cleverly use at some point to as something cool. But I think while that is kind of cool, what we kind of want more of like a let's see, maybe trying to think of how to capture this. Some people are doing clever things, like he was showing about, like putting them inside of other objects and sort of stuff like that. It's sort of like create a reflection room that tells it what to do. Now that I've picked up the grenades, let's build again, and that will get rid of that blue, because it's going to take the snapshot of what the room is like right this second. And it respawned the grenades. It's like it respawned it just so that I could capture it. So what I might have to do to get this to work is make it shallower. If I lower these emissive objects a little bit down, then they'll be more visible to it, because it's kind of like right here and you can't really see. I mean, it's a little bit lower than right here. Well, it's getting the roof at least. Wait, is it getting them? Okay. Okay, yeah, no, they are there. Okay, my bad. Yeah, it's getting them. Okay, they're just... I'm expecting to see them whenever I, like, out from underneath there, but not so much. Okay, that's a little weird. So what I learned yesterday is not enough to fully understand what's happening right now. But at least we're seeing some reflections down the walls like this. Like they're supposed to be. A little bit better than we were before. Anyway, and we got this weird blue glow, which is going to be maybe neat. I don't know. These, maybe I have to, yeah, I know how to make it do it. Okay, so the way to get rid of that entirely would be to go up here to vehicles. Not vehicles, what am I talking about? Weapons. And turning them off, and then rebuilding reflection volumes. So that would also make it to where all my other reflection volumes don't see the vehicles as well. Oh, it says up to date because I haven't moved anything. Okay. That being in the ground, I wonder if that'll be a problem. Since it's slightly underground, I wonder if it's going to make like a black sort of reflection somewhere. Okay, so now it should not have that blue glow. Yeah, the blue glow is gone, so now it'll only have a dynamic glow. Yeah, see, that's all reflective. Yeah, okay. So now, if I go in here and I turn back on the vehicles, or the weapons. Where is it? Oh, right, it's the eye. I was looking for the locks. Then these grenades, which are not glowing now for some reason. All right, we're gonna respawn them so that they glow again, so we can see what it does. Are we in this cave or the opposite cave? Okay, they're glowing again. These are glowing for sure. I don't know if this is the correct cave that we were in. Let me go check the other one. By making them respawn like that, it should reset their that little issue. I would assume. I'm guessing. And these are glowing again too. Good. Yeah, this feels like the more reflective room. I think this is the one we're in. Yeah, there it is. So I don't know what's going to happen as a result of how close I have this to the ground. The fact that I have it clipping into the ground might be causing... it takes a three-dimensional image. So as you can see, if we look down on it, we're seeing, I believe, the ceiling. And then if we look up at it... What image is it capturing? Very difficult to make out. It's definitely this room, though, because it's got the lights. It just looks like there's rock involved. Seems a little strange. I don't know. Anyway, and then the bottom is a little bit fuzzy, as you can see. And I wonder if that's because we have it clipping into the ground. I don't know. Now, I do want to see what this does. Whenever he was saying parallax, if you turn that off, it does something that involves, like, making it, like, priority. So we're going to try that, just to see. And I'm not going to worry about the grenade glow. Wonder if I should make a folder that's just things to hide while building the map. Like these grenades, and then, like, you know, because they put all that blue all over the place again. I mean, maybe the blue looks cool. I don't know. Maybe just leave it there so it looks cool. But not sure. What the heck? Oh, because I'm not in the. I see. I'm not in the mode where it'll actually blow up. Okay, that was kind of weird to me. Yeah, I don't see much of a difference between this one. And this, to be honest. So I'll have to ask Computron about that, because he was saying something about it being correcting, like, the entire map's, like, parallax or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. It's strange. But the lighting is definitely a lot better now. Let's see. Now we can move on, I think, from that one. That one seems to be okay. Let's check this one out because I haven't since I ran the thing. Threshold. Oh, yeah, forge time. Exactly. Let's see. Well, this is really bright now that I've done the this area. Also, what happened to that object? There's a piece missing. What the heck? Where did that thing go? Did it move? Did it rotate? Did it get deleted somehow? You see that? There's a triangle missing. It's really weird. Like, really weird. Let's, okay, we're in the, which bridge? The bridge and tunnel for red. Okay. Let's go to red base bridge and tunnel. I don't know how that happened. Unlock red. We will break it out of the prefab, remove that one from it, duplicate it, and rotate it around. And then I have it, I assume, snaps to something. Yeah, there we go. Well, not quite. Yes, there we go. Okay, that should work. Don't know where that had gone. It looks weird. But yeah, there's supposed to be a light right there, which I don't have. So I need to put a light right there. Which I already have lights as my working folder, right? So I just put that, whoops. If that's true, then what I just did was I put this into my lights folder. Which I think it is true, so let me go grab it out. It's tunnel red. Okay, blue. There it is. Floor angled. Move. Down to bridge. Red. Okay, cool. Now we'll go back up to the light section. So we can see it. We're going to go ahead and add one of these. So let's go duplicate one. And then move it back here. I guess I could have duplicated that one. But you always have to reset the rotation on these anyway, so I don't think it's a big deal. Alright, and then, yeah, I gotta go, let's see, this way, that way, then into the roof. There we go. And we'll turn off snapping. And I'll just, what? Oh, I don't know what just happened. I think it just broke. Okay, that should reset it. Okay. I'm gonna get this in the middle. So what I'm gonna do is I had made this one in the middle. So I'm gonna turn back on snapping and snap it to this piece. There we go. Perfect height and everything. And then I will turn off magnets. Why does it move forward like that? And why is it like, it's moving forward every time I press that button. It's really annoying. Okay. So, yeah, see, because mouse and keyboard isn't activating like it's supposed to. Yeah, it's moving forward every time because of that. Okay, so I think I've got to go. I have to move it with magnets engaged like this real quick. And then I can disable magnets because they're dealing with a bug. Okay, and then we'll move through here. And we'll do that. And we'll just deselect it, and that should get us centered. That should be more correct, because apparently I just did not have that. And then we're going to duplicate it and put it all the way in the other bridge as well, in the same spot. Unless there's already one there, in which case we're good. Yep, oh, I definitely forgot it, apparently, in both bridges, in both structures. Oh, I gotta reset the rotation, don't I? Because this thing is so iffy. Here we go. No. Come on now. Okay, something weird is happening. Where's my light? It's definitely not doing mouse and keyboard. Like, I'm using a mouse right now, but it's not letting me. I don't know what's going on. Ooh, that's not what I want. Well, I'm completely messing it up. Apparently. Yeah, this is really bugging out. Rotation on this object. Wait, oh wait, hold on. The rotation on this object got messed... No, the location of this object got messed up. Really? Gosh, dang. This is really getting frustrating. I think I might have to close out and go back in, because this is becoming dangerous to even forge with this bug going on, because it's just messing everything up. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna save the map, exit, and come back in. Make it fresh, you know, tools. Make it not have the bug anymore. Because this is, yeah. Okay. I gotta close the whole game down and reboot it, because a lot of times the control schemes getting messed up don't fix whenever you get out and go back in. It might have fixed with this particular one, because it's a little bit iffy which one, if it will or not, but a lot of times it doesn't. And then after this we're gonna go back to doing like reflection volumes in this tunnel and stuff like that, and I might put some over the bridges, because like I was saying, it doesn't seem to reflect off the bridges correctly. And then yeah, and then we're gonna, I guess we're gonna build lighting. I again think this is the last thing to do, so all we need is one more expert to come in and tell me, yeah, no, do it this way, it's better, with something else I'm doing. So, because I wouldn't be surprised. I need to add, I'm gonna add Clint and Ocom to the collaborator list so that they can get credit for it. Let's see. Or however I can give them credits. I'm not sure how. Maybe add one of their prefabs. That way, like, if they don't want to be a collaborator, they can maybe just add one of their prefabs and then delete it. And it'll be, I think, permanently in there as them being one of the collaborators or something. I'm not sure how to do that. There we go. Whew. Match starting. This is from Halo Legends. That's what it's from. I was wondering about that. Let's see. Now we should be able to fix this. The lights will be over here. There it is. So it's lined up with where it's supposed to be now. And it should What the heck? Why is it still doing this? Did they... Okay, this got... Was this an update or something? It broke this? Like, what's happening here? Now I'm really confused. Because typically, I was able to just switch to mouse and keyboard. Okay, that seems to work. Ooh, no. Please stop. This is one of the things I don't like about mouse and keyboard, is that just seems to automatically just weld to something just because you... There we go. Now let's turn off magnets. Go back. Okay, here we go. Oop, I just realized that I don't have chat up. I need to pull chat up before I keep going. Or else I might miss something. Okay, here we go. I had minimized it while we were trying to load back into the map. Let's see. Alright. So, we gotta place this back where it goes. I think we were doing that. And then we can grab this one. Move it back. And then line it up like this. And we can turn back on welding. It should automatically weld to this thing. It's now welding to a place that makes sense. So I'll move it this way. Oh, it's trying to weld to that. Please don't weld to that. No, that's not what I want. I want you to weld to this other light. There we go. Okay, so then we can go this way. When it comes to welding with mouse and keyboard, I feel like I'm back to the beginning whenever we very first were being like, how to make welds work, why won't they snap where I want them to snap. And we had to learn all those tricks and stuff. I feel like I'm all the way back then. Okay, there we go. Now we've got a proper, you know, light up there. Looking good. And we can go ahead and do some... Grab some of these reflection volumes and put them in roughly the same spot as the other place. Let's see, right around here. Okay. And then we'll go put this in the other... Oop. Duh. There was a physics-based object. What do you call it? Dynamic object, anyway. Let's see. Now we can put it here. Yeah, yeah. And then a little bit over here. And I believe this is a good good setup. And over here. And I will run this by Computron and make sure I'm doing all of this correctly at some point, whenever he's available. Because I'm still not 100% certain. Okay. So this should make all the reflections in those hallways a lot better. Let's see. Okay. I fixed up all these bridge lights, by the way, using that other technique that he was teaching me. These, where you can, like, the OBB. I went through and, like, set up all these OBBs to be better. And, so I think that this is a little bit nicer looking than it was before. It's got the nice, like, shadow under the bridge, and then, like, the lights coming down and all that stuff. So that's good. But I need to still set up the OBBs for some of these other lights that might be, like, bleeding through the structure that they're on. Or through cracks and stuff like that that aren't supposed to. I think I did for... No, I haven't for this room yet. I believe that if I went into this, it would be... How did I miss this? This should be... No, that is. Yeah, it's working. Okay. I thought it was locked. Yeah, so I'd move these out so that I could do this. Jeez, I made that thing huge. That light has a lot of bounce to it. Okay, so anyway, the point is that, okay, the x-axis is left to right now, so this will move the right-hand side, and this one the left-hand side. Yeah, we want this to just be a 1. Basically, just inside the wall behind the light. No, this one's farther away from the wall than the other ones I was doing, so maybe 3, maybe 5. There, so it's inside that wall. And that's going to make it to where that light bounces off of that wall, but it doesn't, and it casts shadows because of that wall, but it doesn't actually, it doesn't go farther than that, because it won't anyway. So we're just keeping the computer from having to try to calculate for that, which will make the whole thing more efficient. But we also don't need it to bounce past this wall either. So we can actually go to the other one, do like minus 60. Maybe minus 50. Put it inside this wall. We can go a little bit farther to minus 50, 51, and now it's inside that wall. Doesn't have to go any farther than that. And then it will be bouncing off the floor here from inside, like that. And that is correct. And that means it won't create any kind of lighting particles over here. Like, you see that? You see that little shine right there? That's coming from a light that's inside of this room. Probably, looked like it was angled with this light. So that light right there is probably somehow, you know, punching through the wall and hitting this object, because I've got its OBB set up, or not set up at all. It's actually 2 lights right here, and they're basically identical. Oh wait, did it not? Yeah, it did. Okay, they are in fact there. It also has a light in the middle that's just I use as a fixture that that doesn't actually have any light coming out of it. It's just the fixture without the lighting effect on it at all. So we'll do minus, what was it? It was 51 from one side to the other, so we'll do minus 25 and see where that ends up, and then we'll do 25 over here, and then we'll figure out what micro adjustments we need to make. Looks like 26. Since this thing, nope, it's actually 27. No, it's further. There we go. And minus 28. There we go. That should be just this room, and we won't have any more. Okay, maybe it's a different light. Because, yeah, I was thinking it was that one bouncing off, but because of the angle, but I was wrong. It must be this one. Which also would make sense given that's closer to the wall than the other one. So the minus, let's go to minus 5. Nope, that was wrong. Minus 50, and then 5. Yeah, let's go to 10. There we go. Does that fix it? Yep, there's no more light. So that weird effect of that light poking through is fixed. And minus 48 probably works for the other side. That does work, but let's go minus 47. Just a little bit closer. There we go. That actually brings up this one should be 9 or even 8. There we go. And then we do the reverse over here. That's really easy now that we know the numbers. Minus 8 and what was it? 48? Oh, gonna have to remember. That's what 47. There we go. Alright, cool. So now we don't have that little lighting glitch on either side. Okay. Likewise, this one up here, it's going to be blocked by these. So I probably can just have it go out to the sides of that. Let's see. Let's try that. Minus, we'll go with 10. A little bit more than that. Minus 13. And then 13 on the other side. And that should make that lighting not cause any other issues. Which it might have done. And yeah, did I do this one yet? No, I don't think I have. I did this one. And it had minus 51 and 5. And then, so this one will be minus 5 and 51. So minus 5 and 51. And so, let's make sure that box actually does work. Does it right? Yes, yes it does. Okay. Now, I wonder if they might be bleeding through these ramps at all. We'll find out, because in which case we'd have to change the height. You can kind of see that, like, that is definitely light from that thing bouncing off over here, which doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be doing that. Which might be, let's see if it's got shadows on. Yeah, it's got cast dynamic shadows, so it should be more. Yeah, it should be definitely. Definitely should be working better than that. Okay, so we're gonna go to, this is actually Y. Let's go find out which Y it is. It's this one, I think. Minus 15. Yeah, that's right there. And that makes the light end too abruptly. So we're gonna go minus, we'll do 17 or maybe 20. The light is kind of going through there. I don't know if this is, you can kind of see how it's like, it shouldn't be doing that at all. Okay, we might need to actually fiddle with this thing's light brightness, or let's see, light range. I've got to automatically scale the shape of it with the light range adjustments, so that's why you see it getting shorter and shorter. So if we have a light range lower, then we can come down here and re-increase this to minus 18, or minus 20 we had it at. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, it's still reflecting off there pretty heavily. It's this weird shape right here that's kind of hard to determine where we should do it, because it should be coming through here, like all the way out to here, but it shouldn't be bleeding through that column. And I don't know if there's a way to really account for that, except for changing the lighting distance even lower. Maybe put the light range at 15, or well, we're dealing with 20. Let's go to 20. Let's see what that does. And then we gotta go back to our, let's see, down, because that'll be faster. And we gotta put this back at minus 20 and see what that looks like. Okay, yeah, that's way too low. We want that to be more like, we want to sort of end right around here, like fade out right as it's coming up to this spot right here, so that way we can avoid the lighting issue. So let's see, light range, bring it up, that way we can see it, you know, stretching out. We can have it come all the way up to this edge, right there. And then I think I've got my inner cone a little bit too big here, because it's not fading as much as it could on the edge there. There we go. Maybe even more lower. There we go. Now we want to reflect that over here. What was our lighting? What were we at? We were at 28.9. Let's see. So light range will be 28.9 over here. We may not need to use OBB on these at all because this seems to have done the... Well, we do. Yeah, there's definitely a problem over here. Okay, so we'll just do... For the OBB, we need to do just the back side, the back end. Because we were doing... What? This one, I believe? Yeah, I think so. So then this one would be... Yeah, okay. We want this to be like 1. Nope. 3. Yeah, so it's just inside that wall, and it'll bleed around the corners like a sharp line. You see what I mean? Because this light shouldn't be, you know, so bright around that corner, I would think. Instead, it's you know, it's glitching out as going through the wall. So we turn this on, and we go down here to... What's this one? Yeah. Now we did 3, and then I tweaked it one direction. There we go. So that's creating more dynamic lighting, more like what we're looking for. It's shining through that wall, but unfortunately I don't think there's going to be a way to block it from going through here. Mainly because of the, if we make it any thinner here, then we lose this area's lighting. And that's no good. So these lights down here have also not been adjusted. They also seem to be white light, and I don't know why they're so white. Was that a thing? I think that actually was supposed to be a thing. Yeah. I have no idea if they're going to cause any bleed through as they are. They seem to be creating a nice shadow here that looks pretty dynamic. Let's see. I imagine if there's any problem it'd be here, but it's actually doing a really good job there too. Huh. Whoop. Energy sword is a physical barrier in this. Let's see. Okay. I think down here is pretty good for now. Yeah, I think this lighting is all pretty decent. I don't know that anything needs to be adjusted down here, except for maybe like to make it not consume as much computations. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go and open this up, and then we're gonna just do. Let's see. I think X is. Let's see, which way are we trying to move? This is the main thing. Is that I need a compass. Okay, so that's that one. So we're trying to move on the Y. I think it's going to be positive, but I could be wrong. Yeah, it is positive. Okay. So we want these lights to be moved in all the way to the point where the building is going to block it off. Let's do 5. Let's see if that works. Nope, nowhere near. Right. Let's go 15. Let's go 30. 25. 22. 23. There we go. Perfect. So now we'll try and figure out if that light is going to hit back here. It'll just focus on this area. And supposedly this is how it's done. Minus 45. Looks good. There, so these lights may cast light all the way out to here, but they won't be casting out much farther, and then it's going to sort of bleed into this one. Just trying to avoid the heat map overlap effect. I'll show you what that is. Going here, we go to, let's see, light, heat map, shadow overlap. This is like you're trying to keep the bright areas from being too common, and as you can see, there's a lot of bright areas here, because I think that means it's wasted, basically computations or something to that effect, but I mean it's not really, it's just like where the shadows are, where the brighter areas are versus darker areas, that kind of thing. Here's the light overlap, and this one actually shows much better like where the actual specific lighting is that's hitting. Kind of see down here how this is working out, and yeah, it's all pretty cool looking, to be honest. I just wish there was a heat map for player usage. Gamer, yes. How's it going, Aaron? How you doing? Let's see. I am trying to adjust lights today, as you can likely tell. And it's going all right, I think. Nope, that's not it. Let's see, just got off from playing WAW campaign. What is WAW? I should know this. I feel like I should know this. But I don't know what WAW is. Let's see. Let's go to 45 here. Nope. Let's go to 55 here. And then minus 55. That way it will only affect areas, you know, things in that area. Let's see. I'll let you figure that one out. Okay. I'm guessing war is in there. But maybe I just don't know. I could just Google it. Maybe I'll have Google tell me. WAW. This is not going to come up with anything. Oh, World at War. Yep, there it is. It did come up with something. World at War. There we go. Yeah, I figured there was war in there. I figured it was, and I did think it was probably something like a Clash of Clans kind of like name, you know what I mean? So I guess I was right. I think that there isn't like no game comes close to the cleverness that was World of Warcraft's naming convention. And World at War, it's kind of almost close, but not really. Never played its campaign on this Xbox account and currently running through it. Yeah. I haven't played. I mean, I haven't played very many Call of Duties because I just don't like them. Typically, but I did like the one that was motion control on the Wii because it was the first time I had played a motion control first-person shooter, and then in hindsight, it's like, it actually wasn't that great. I was like, this is really cool, but in retrospect, not so much. But yeah. Just got this achievement called Gunslinger. It was a pain. Wait, what was required for it? That is refusing to work. Do one of those duplicate techniques. You make a smaller version of it, so it will magnet, typically. And then move that so it's not messing up the magnet. And it's not working. So you gotta kill this dude with a pistol from far range instead of a sniper. Gotcha. That sounds tough. Wouldn't be tough in Halo Combat Evolved, but it would be... That sounds tough in, like, pretty much any other first-person shooter. Ah, see, I did the technique wrong. First, you go and you place them both in the same spot. Then you move them together. Well, let's do it on this side. Then you move them together and use the last one's... Oh wait, hold on. Deselect that one, reselect it so it's the last one selected, and now it will be our well point. There we go. Then we can delete that one. And then we can grab this and shrink it. Okay. There's other snipers shooting at you, and you can barely see the guy you're meant to kill. Gotta get lucky with your shot. I see. And just, like, get really lucky and headshot him, basically. See, part of this is that this is part of this piece that I had changed the shading on. Where I had, like, picked a white color and made them shine differently than default. But apparently I didn't do it with that piece or this piece. Oh, this one is. Weird. Okay. Well, at least it doesn't look quite as weird as it did before. That's interesting. I haven't, like I said, I haven't played it, but the description reminds me of, the way you're describing it reminds me of Hitman in general. But probably without Hitman's mechanics, that sounds like it would be a lot more difficult. You know what I mean? It's very difficult. Yeah. That's where you hack the game and give yourself a Halo 1 Magnum, and then it's super easy. Barely an inconvenience, right? Surprised I even got it, because the objective was about to fail until it ticked off. Let's see. These giant circle lights, I don't think they're on there in Halo 2 as a result of these like little spots. This all looks super bright and way brighter than it's supposed to, but I'll have to look into it to see. But yeah. So basically you were like, you had a timer to kill this guy, and your timer was like just about to be like, mission failed, and then right whenever you got the achievement. That's pretty funny. Let's see, what was I doing? I don't remember what I was doing. I think I need reflection volumes in one of the bases. One of the bases has them, one of them doesn't. No, I did do them in the base, in both bases. I might need them up here, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so pretty much, gotcha. Yeah. After World at War, I'll run through Black Ops next. That's, yeah. Can I not think of what I was going to do next because I'm basically done and I just have to do a bunch of lights adjustments? Is that what's happening here? What's going on up here? That is some major bleed through from something. I guess these lights? Yeah, I need to... By the way, the popping is back. The popping is back. What? Ugh. I don't know how that happened. Trying to see if I could find literally anything that would give me an indication, but I don't see anything. I don't even hear it on my end, obviously, because I don't hear my mic. But, I'll check to see if there's a driver update, I guess. My computer updated itself. So maybe it updated itself and broke the driver. Or maybe I need to refresh reboot the computer. Or something. But I have no idea. I'm surprised that it's back, though. I don't know if I like the way that I did this with lighting up with making these areas artificially lighter metal, because they are, but it's because they're like, they've got two layers of rust in Halo 2. They've got the red rust, and then they've got like more like a copper kind of corrosion on them, and so it's not like it's lighter metal. It's that the metal is corroding, and I kind of tried to see if I could make it lighter metal and see if that would do the trick. I don't know if I like it, and I think I might just set it back to being the regular metal. You know what I mean? In which case I would have to select everything that is the same kind of material and try it. Thinking about picking up Call of Duty World War II on Monday because it's under 10 at my local store. Oh, that's a good deal. What do you think, Aaron, about the coloring of these? Should I switch them back to... Let's see. Hold on, let me see if I can select this other side. Oh, I don't have one. Right. Do you think, now that the lighting is fixed, and it's actually working, do you think that the lighter metals versus darker metals on the central structure looks any good, or should I just switch it all to dark metal? Because the way I've got it is like that's how, more like what it would be like. I mean, it's not perfect because I could also just theoretically decrease this to make it lighter, but not as light. How does it look in Halo 2? It looks basically like the darker metal, except that it's got orange corrosion all over it, and it's also got this like white corrosion like aluminum corrodes. You know what I mean? How like metal corrodes orange, right? And it's rust, and then aluminum corrodes white, and you know, and it's also even got a little bit of green on there, like it's got copper. Like they put rust from like every kind of metal, basically, all the different kinds of metal. Darker metal it is. Yeah, exactly. And even if I do a little bit lighter, I could just come in here and edit these and bring these down to like, you know, just barely lighter than the rest. You know what I mean? In which case it would be like an insignificant difference, and who cares? Never mind. Let's just do no color. It was looking good whenever I didn't have proper lighting. Like, I'll put it to you that way. Like, I was pretty confident about it back whenever the lighting hadn't been baked properly and stuff. Ooh, I got select that one. And now I'm like, no, it doesn't look good at all. Let's really consider getting rid of it. Let's see. I'm gonna get all of the angles that I can, and that way we can do them with as few clicks as possible. I could go into the menu and just like select all the angles, but then I might get angles that don't have it, so this will be faster, I think. The side panels are, like these side things are almost entirely lit up. Light like that, so I do have to change those as well. But yeah, let's see. Go back to the darker. Okay. Oh, I didn't. That was dumb. I wish I could undo a deselect But unfortunately that is not a thing. It would be a really useful tool. What happened here and why is it pink now? It doesn't make any sense. So we want to go put it back to white so that pink one gets reset. And then that. Now is there more than one swatch on these, or is that it? There's not more than one swatch on these. Why does it look such a weird color? I know why. It's because I need to go like this and then set this to 0. There we go. Because this object is broken. There we go. That works. Much cleaner. And then let's add back in all of this. Fix all of these. Let's see. It was a solution to a non-problem, apparently. A problem that I'd solve if later on with lighting if I had just been patient. Oh, where's the other one? Up here? Go. A non-issue. Ah, I'm missing pieces. Okay, I need to set these pieces up correctly. Which for these means I need to set these to 0. And that was an old solution to a bug. Let's see. Careful changing options of multiple items at once, it can crash your game. I will definitely be careful of that. I was doing that whenever I very first started. I changed the colors of them to this regular gray at the beginning, just so that whenever I copied them, they would automatically come with come in with the correct colors and everything. So I haven't had to do that like you did. You could add scratch and rust. I do have rust. I think I didn't do scratch because it creates a bunch of dividing lines. I'll show you. I don't have any scratch because like once you put scratch, it like divides this segment from that segment. And then whenever you start putting in scratch on multiple objects, you start getting these like... You can really see that this is made up of a bunch of blocks. You see what I mean? So it kind of just like makes it look worse even while it tries... like at the same time that it's making it look better, it makes it look worse. And so I think I've just got to do this. Honestly, the side kind of looks good like this is a lighter metal. I don't know about you guys. Like leaving the central structure is entirely one color, but then having the sides look like lighter color helps. Good add scratch. Okay. Discord. Yeah, let me open up Discord. Oh, Rooster Teeth Achievement Guide, the Gunslinger. I didn't know Rooster Teeth did achievement guides. Cool. I don't think I can probably play this because then the audio will get me they'll DMCI me or something. I don't know. I don't know how Rooster Teeth is about stuff. That's what I just got like 10 minutes ago. Gotcha. That's pretty cool. So yeah, I think this looks much better already. And I kind of like the lighter one on the sides because these were the parts that were the most rusty as far as that light color was concerned. I did select basically everything that was most rusty and applied it to it before. That's why I had chosen those objects. But I feel like this is probably for the best right here. And I think it looks pretty good. I don't know about you guys. To have those, just the side pylon things being, their supports being a lighter color than the rest. It does look a little weird in one regard. Are these light? Might be because of the lights that are shining on them and creating like shadows, but yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. There's a bit of a delay between what I say and what you hear. So I think you probably only just saw the scratch thing. But yeah. So we've got. I woke up earlier today, and now I just feel awful. I mean, I only woke up earlier by like an hour, but I feel awful. Let's see. All right, so I think okay. So we've got Nav-mesh. We've got reflection probes in some good places. And they're working. I don't think I put a reflection probe down here, so maybe I should. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this one. So just, oh wow, that's weird. I don't know why their magnets are all wonky like that. And put it down here. Maybe I should put it more like in the middle. So it'll catch like all of the stuff. Or something. But that should help some lighting there. Which building... Oh, I saved. Building reflection volumes takes like 2 seconds, so I'll test that. And then I'm going to see what it looks like down there. That image for Midsummer is just really goofy looking. Wow, it lit up a lot. Like a heck of a lot. I think these lights might be too bright, guys. Let's tone down the brightness, but keep the light range on all of these. We'll do 350 there, about 350, and then we'll do that. And then we will redo the reflection volumes and see what that looks like. Because it might be just as bright, or it might be better. And if it's better, then we're good. That is definitely better. It's not as washed out as it was before. I think on this one we need to make our blend distance really high, because you can kind of see where it's blending right there really heavily. Whoop, that's not what I meant to do. Now I'm off in the mid, away from where I was. Okay. The even the rust has the same kind of effect, where it can look like it sort of like defines different objects. I hope I can fix that audio bug again. But for the stream, I mean. But like you can kind of see where like the corrosion sort of fades away as you come, you know, from one object to another. Sometimes you can get the scratches to be okay, like here. And that's usually where I end up putting scratches, like in this area. But like the floor here looks like segments, for example. And if you can get them to transition like that, where you can go from like that block to that block to that block, and then like the inner corners don't have any scratches, only the outer ones do, then the scratches look fantastic. And if you can merge them to where the scratches meet up from one block, that's one block, and that's another block over there. If you can make them meet up like that, then that's also really good. It's just that the some of the times they just don't look good with the scratches, and you got to work on them. Like here, there's a bit of a divide here. And it doesn't really need to be there, but it's not really much I can do about it. Because, I mean, I could take off the scratches, but then it would look weird in the room because the rest of the room is all scratched up. So, but anyway, yeah, I think this reflection looks better. It still might be too bright. For some reason, they're not shining yellow on the walls, which is really weird to me. Like, they're set to a yellow light. I'm pretty sure all of them are. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's because I didn't set them to the same yellow as the rest of the map. But I think it was actually white light down in this basement, and I was like kind of weirded out by it whenever it happened. That's why I left them all sort of a more pale. You got a new controller today? Like one of the fancy ones, maybe? Let's bring this down to like 150. Or 1.50 rather. Bring this down to 2.50. And this one can come down to probably 2. Got the Stellar Shift one. Oh, nice. Is that the one that's like, that all the YouTubers are like raving about right now? Or like advertising, rather? That's got like the, like never is gonna have any problem with like stick shift, for example. Because if that's what that is, then probably. It's the one that like you can replace the joysticks so that you never have to worry about, and they're like really inexpensive, so you don't have to ever worry about, you know. It's the purple one. Nice. That sounds cool. Oh no. Okay, so not that one. Kind of feel like it's not yellow enough, and I could be wrong, and the actual map might be that it's got white light down here like I was saying, but it just looks really weird that it's so white compared to up here, and the light transitions from that yellow down to this white. It looks really weird to me, but I feel like there was an area that had white light, and that's why I was doing this. But yeah, Stellar Shift released like 2 weeks ago. Oh, okay. Normal controller, but with a 2-ton metallic purple and blue paint. A 2-tone. 2-ton. Sitting here misreading tone. Yeah, that's really cool. 2-tone metallic purple and blue paint. Does it look like Covenant? Like, is it like the tonal shift like chameleon paint on cars? Because that's really cool. I've got a black minivan right now, and that I purchased from, you know, my in-laws, and I really want to eventually repaint it to be, you know, Covenant purple. Oh yeah, that looks like kind of like a Wraith from Halo 1 and 2. Eventually got less like that, but that's yeah. We're going to go down to 50 on these, because they look like they're just too bright. You know what else we're going to do? I'm going to do that inner cone, bring it down a little bit to make it a little softer looking. That way it'll definitely be less bright looking. There we go. That looks a little more natural, a little more realistic. Normal controller, but with a 2-tone. Yeah. Also comes with a limited edition dashboard theme. Oh, cool. A limited edition dashboard theme. What does it look like? Oh. I think it'd be cool if they let you make your own dashboard themes. Can they do that? Can you do that? Oh, nice. Like a purple galaxy. A nebula, I mean. Looks like a nebula in the middle, with like stars in the background and stuff. That's really cool. That's actually what my, you know, cell phone looked like for a really long time. That's like practically the same image, as far as like color theming and the fact that it's a nebula and all that kind of stuff. And then eventually I got this image of Link from Legend of Zelda that wasn't like a regular image. It was like all black and just outlines, and it was like neon like outlines. It was weird. Anyway, the point is, yeah, that looks really cool. Let's see. And now it's a picture of my kids, as you would expect. Oh, okay, here's some mess up. Yeah, look at that. The way it bleeds through the bridge there. We need to fix that. on the OBB. Probably could have gone down instead of, or up, yeah, down instead of up, but, you know. Which of these is this editing? Everything, nothing seems to be moving. Am I missing something? Oh, okay, that was the one. This is it, so minus, like, 1. Wait, what the heck? No, that's not it. Minus 50. Oh, yeah, okay, I see. Minus 1. Here we go. I was looking at the wrong one. Minus 15. Let's do minus 10. And then bring it down manually until we find the sweet spot. There we go. Now light's shining on the sides of the bridge. Okay. Okay, my old controller was starting to drift, so got this one. Yeah. That's really cool. I know I need a new controller because my kids are starting to play. What am I doing? It should be like 9 or something, and I adjust it manually. My kids are starting to not just play, you know, the consoles on their own, but they're trying to play together. And we only have 3 Xbox Series S controllers. One for my wife, one for me, and one for the console. And now that they're all playing together, I'm having to use this Xbox One controller that my sister-in-law gave me a while back, that she got for work while she was working at EA, because she also went to work at EA, and she yeah, so it was it's pretty, it's okay. I mean, it doesn't feel right because it's not an Xbox you know, series controller, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty good. It's mediocre, but it's pretty okay. You might even be hearing buttons that sound different than my normal, than the ones that I was using on stream before. I do want those lights going up the side of that. I'm noticing that I had cut that off a little too early. I don't think this one bleeds through to the other side anyway, because it's got this big old elaborate box between it and the bridge. So it's okay if I just leave it like that. But also, to cut back on computations, both of these can have this wall brought in. Which I bet is that Y? Yeah, that's Y. So I just need to figure out which Y it is. Not that one. Leave that one at 50, and then go to this one and bring it down. Yeah, apparently, I didn't know this. Someone was posting videos about it. That the PlayStation 2's, you know, what do you call it? 6-axis, or not 6-axis? No, just regular. What was it called? DualShock. The DualShock controller. The joysticks on that apparently were built to just be better than everything we have today, because they automatically readjust themselves internally. Like they will automatically recalculate where the joysticks are. So drift gets like reduced all the time. So all you do is joysticks in a circle, you know, really fast in a loop, and you end up with having the whole thing corrected. And I'm like, why don't we go back to that technology? What happened? It's because people weren't buying as many controllers, that's why. And they needed to make money. So they were like, yeah, what if we just let them break? I bet that's what it was. Like, not even joking. Like, I bet that's actually what it was. But yeah. So, does this look right? That is creating like a sharp shadow from the bridge. That looks a little bit odd, to be honest. But I don't see an alternative. Otherwise, it's going to create those weird light effects. But at least it looks interesting, you know? To have that sharp shadow. It's artistic, even if it's not accurate. It's not realistic, but it's you know, kind of cool looking. So, what do y'all think? Do I need to, let's see, top. Do I need to, change that back and just let it bleed through, or do you think it's fine how it is? With the shadows creating this sharp angle here. I like it. Reminds me of Batman the Animated Series. So, I'm gonna keep it. I'm definitely going to go out of my way to, you know, make sure that I have some, like, maybe I should actually take the visuals from Batman the Animated Series as the visual design of one of my maps, one of my original maps, because that would be really cool. Okay, so I've adjusted a lot of lights. I feel like I don't need to adjust these all that much, because they're all just like, I don't know, maybe I do. Maybe I need to bring them in so that they don't, let's see, I think it's X. I swear. I can never tell. There it is. Yeah, it was X. There we go. We'll do 10 so it doesn't go back over the back of that rock all that much. And with these, we'll do 10. This looks sick. Thanks. I'm trying to fix all the lighting right now. Because I'm not that good at that. Or wasn't good at it. I'm learning. Let's see. 10. Let's try and reduce the backlighting over the back of this, because it won't have any backlighting over the back of this, but we can make it out to compute that. These are possibly bleeding into other areas. I know that I struggled to get it to not come this way too far, and they're at an angle, so these might actually work out. Like, that's its cube, which is insane. That's their cubes, rather. Might need to do these individually. I honestly don't think I need the same light range, but we're gonna go to minus 50. Oh wait, did I do it wrong? Oh, that was over there. Okay, we'll go to minus 90 over there, so it's nice and long line, and then we'll go 90. No, this is where we need like 20. Yeah, or less. We'll go 10. But let's see. So this one's X needs to be less than 10, like 5, to be equal with the other one. Because now they should be roughly the same-ish, maybe less. Price dropped in my local Walmart from $69.99 to $49.99. Awesome. 2. Oh, let's go 1. That's a really sharp line, which is kind of cool. Having that weird soft line before was a little weird. Let's see. You didn't read my previous comment. Oh. Think I'm going to pick up Dead Space on Monday. Then it price dropped. I was going to say, I was kind of curious what you're talking about, and I was about to go ask you that. Because I was like, wait, what? Oh, whoops. I set this to an incorrect. I did that wrong. Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. Cool. They can actually both be set to 1 on both sides then. I was just about to ask you, like, wait, so what do you mean by that? But yeah, that's really cool though, because Mass Effect. I was just about to say Mass Effect. Where did this go? What am I doing here? Minus 90. There we go. Yeah. Shows how brain dead I am today. But yeah, it's Dead Space is a really good series, and I want to play more of it, but I am still haven't beat the first one, so maybe I'll get the remake instead of going back to my 360 to play it. Won't cost me it won't cost me anything as I'm trading in 3 games for it. Cool. That's really good. Okay, definitely need to adjust the long. Let's see. That is the minus 90 is not enough. Minus 150. We'll go back to the minus 150. And then let it bleed all the way to the edge, because this whole area is very low light aside from these lights and then those, so I kind of want to light it up a little bit so you can actually see what's happening over here. Now I could still bring in, this is where I can, let's see if I can get this to work to where I can actually see what's happening. But basically I'm going to bring in the cone, the inner cone, I'm going to bring in a little more, so that the edge that's like super sharp right now will at least be a little bit of a fade. Is that even doing anything? Where is my inner cone versus outer cone? Okay, I don't see any difference. Yeah, it's not changing it. I think that I've actually got my inner cone so small that I need to make it bigger so that the difference, so you can see the transition eventually hitting. What's going on here? Come on, there we go. Eventually hitting like that, more like. Nope, no clue what's going on there. Whatever these settings are better. Let's see. So 45. We'll go with that. We'll go down to 45. Okay, so what were you saying? Let's see. Oh yeah, I was thinking you might have been saying another thing around then. Sorry. Here we go. But yeah, this is looking good so far. Let me go adjust the lighting over here, because these are going to be just as messed up as the other side were. And that will also make them a lot more interesting. Ooh, this whole thing is prefabbed out. I forgot about that. Where are they located, though? Are they in the lighting folder? Floor angled. They must be. Yeah, here they are. I am going to break them out of their prefab then. Might pick up another game, just not sure what. Oh, I haven't adjusted any of these lights for their cones. Oh, okay, okay. The other base I have, just not the ones that we were just looking at. But yeah, I might pick up in other games, just not sure what. Have you... I forget, are you getting... I think we talked about Metroid Prime remake. And I forget what we said. Or what was said. Okay, -1. And then on the Y, -1, is that correct? Yeah. And then we'll go... I was thinking Rift Apart, but I forgot what she said about whether or not you liked Metroid Prime Trilogy, or if you were getting it, or if you already got it, or what was going on. I know if we did, then I already recommend the motion controls, because they're actually really good in that. Let's see. I'm just so tired right now, I've forgotten what we've discussed in the past, in some ways. Don't even know what Metroid Prime is. Oh man, Metroid Prime is literally rated as the best first-person shooter of all time if you average out all of the scores. Metroid Prime 1 is rated as the best first-person shooter ever made if you average out all of the scores across the board for all like, you know, publications. But, you know, that's kind of a weird way of doing it, because you're going to have some overlap. But basically it's on par with Half-Life and Halo, by easily on par with Half-Life and Halo is the way to really think about it, because... Which one is moving? Oh, it's that one. Okay, cool. Let's see. And you should definitely look into it. I think I ended up doing with this one on the other side. I had to come down here, and I just made it just touch the edge of this right here. and just start to envelop it or whatever. So Metroid Prime is a first-person shooter that also, like, a lot of other first-person shooters have taken inspiration from over the years. And a lot of stuff in it you may not even view as like super, like what, oh, big deal, you know what I mean? Forging on my lunch break, Lamau. Nice. On a laptop or on a on your work computer, or do you work from home so you got to just use your personal computer? Because that, or an Xbox even, I have no idea. But yeah, so Metroid Prime, you're gonna, if you do play it, you're gonna be like, okay, what's so special about it? Probably by now, because a lot of the things that they did were brand new, no one else had done before. They did stuff in lighting and graphics and effects and stuff like that that literally no one else had done before at the time. And now it's like, well, yeah, sure, everybody's pretty much doing it. But like, I'll put it to you this way. If you actually went back and played the one on the GameCube whenever it first came out, you'd be surprised it's not like a Wii U game or something. Like, aside from like resolution and like your analog outputs, you would be surprised that's not a Wii U game. Sorry, I just bopped the microphone. Because it's like, seriously, it's got that good of graphics. Let's see. I brought my laptop to brought my laptop to work. When I would work from home, then I would forge occasionally on my Xbox. Nice. But yeah, so if you basically think of, like, to give you an idea of what Metroid Prime is like, it's made by Nintendo, and it's got sort of like it's like Legend of Zelda, in that there's like, the way it works at Will Forge. Oh, did you? Seems to be Nintendo. Oh, how'd I miss that one? Oh, it was right as he sent the other one, so I missed it. Seems to be Nintendo only, so you've already lost me. You lost me at Nintendo. I'm good. Okay, well, basically, yeah, because I think you don't have a Switch, right? So, yeah. Well, I think you're still wrong for that, but, whatever. Let's do... Oh, that's bottom. I definitely don't need 100. Let's do minus, like, 50. That's too low. Minus 80. That's inside the ground, so that's good. That'll work. I thought I was doing one of the sides. Minus 100. Now we go. Let's see. I have more interest in offing myself than Nintendo. Oh, I see. That's surprising. Nintendo has the darkest games, so it's really surprising on average. Obviously, like, not the grittiest, the darkest. Let's see, that should work and not create too much extra bouncing of the light that doesn't end up being calculated. I don't think I adjusted those on the other base, even though I adjusted everything else at the other base. Oh, I also didn't adjust these lights at the other base because they were locked. Huh. Why are they locked? Oh, no, wait. They shouldn't be locked. This base is locked. I see. Let me go... I'm gonna lock the bridges so I can collapse them. Just gonna collapse the bridges. Only games I've played on a Nintendo console are Animal Crossing and Nintendogs, both on a DS when I was like 8. Those happen to be the two least dark games on Nintendo. So I'm gonna be the only two I can think of that don't have ridiculously dark undertones and backstory and origin story of everything that's happening. That's crazy. I could definitely see why that would color your opinion of Nintendo as a whole. But yeah. Ground terrain. Lighting needs to stay expanded so I don't break it. Or crash the game, rather. Base, red. There we go. Unlock that. That is not part of the red base. What is that in? What the heck? What did I put that into? It's gotta be ground terrain, right? Yeah, that's where it is. I used to play Animal Crossing every day. I play with my daughters. Back in the GameCube, when Animal Crossing first came out, I didn't have enough room on my memory card to save it. So whenever I got it from Blockbuster, I basically I left it on the entire time that we had it, and just didn't save. I didn't worry about saving. And then ultimately, I couldn't even. I tried deleting. Let's see, lighting. Yeah, that's where that goes. I tried deleting my. What just happened? Oh, okay. I see what happened. I rotated it. Getting all the seasonal fish and bugs. Yeah. The I looked into whether or not deleting all of our save data from every other game we had on there would clear enough space, and then realized that our memory card was too small for Animal Crossing entirely. And I was like, oh, well, that's disappointing, basically. So what I had to do is I had to leave the game on the entire time. It was awful. But the thing about that, though, is that I also was never really super entranced by Animal Crossing. I do enjoy it when playing with my daughters, but other than that, if not for playing with my daughters, I would not be playing it at all. Just because it's like, it's the more fun version of The Sims, to me. But other than that, I don't know what the Wii one was called, but I played that one as well. Oh yeah, the what was that one? Okay, there's New Leaf and New Horizons. I think those are the two newest ones from the Wii. They were on the 3DS, and then now the Switch. But I have no idea which one was on the Wii. I don't remember. Moving out? I don't know. Wild World. Oh, okay, that's what it was. Oh, I wonder. So they did the new thing when the new because the new 3DS had just come out, so they did New Leaf, right? I wonder if Wild World was simply because the Wii started with a W, and they were like, let's name it something that starts with a W. Oh, Wild World was DS. Okay, never mind. I think. Okay, well maybe not then. I think I have that one on the DS. Not because I got it, but because I bought a DS from somebody, and it came with a. It was my friend who had was getting rid of it, and it just happened to have that game on there. But yeah. I'm sure that, you're a gamer, you've probably heard from other people exactly what I mean by Nintendo games are the darkest games. I'm sure I don't have to explain that, right? That they feature darker themes than like anybody else, like entire eradication of the human race and stuff like that. Like, not like, oh, we're trying to prevent this. No, it happened already. We're all dead. The entire human race is gone. Like, that kind of thing. Like, there's no going back. We're dead. We're gone. Did that save? I didn't see the pop-up. Okay, there it goes. I didn't notice the pop-up in the corner of the map, so I was like, wait, please save. But yeah. It's kind of a thing. A theme of theirs where, like, yeah. It's almost like their writers are given the the freedom to write whatever they want into the narrative, but and then they basically take that as their they're like, oh, we're gonna have to write a story that's like designed for children, right? Okay, well, at least I'm gonna get to write in this, and so they're like, well, the backstory, which kids won't even notice is even happening. Kids don't usually completely gloss over backstories and origins and things like that. So yeah, that's where I get to play with my dark themes that I want to explore. You know what I mean? And I think that's what happens. Oh, the season 3 trailer just dropped? I thought it was gonna be at 3:30. Somebody said it was gonna be at 3:30. Well, my music turned off. I just realized. Now that I click over to YouTube, to a YouTube tab, let me open a new YouTube tab. Let's watch that. That's me. That's not the trailer. What's happening? Okay. I don't see it. Oh, you sent it. There we go. That's much more convenient. There we go.
Why here?
Because you refuse to see.
Neural interface must allow what's his name to infect their brains directly and hallucinate things. Man, I am on poo. Sorry. Let's do that. That's much better.
Double kill. Triple kill. Overkill. Kill-tacular. Kill trust. Kilimanjaro.
Not gonna lie. There's no way that guy would have died there. Whenever, like at the moment he got thrown off that ledge, and it bothered me. Okay, so the community playlist is going to be updated. It looks like to have that bedroom map, which is cool.
Death for you.
In triumph for me!
See, look, in Samus Aran, like pink red, like one of her armors is. It actually looks like a pretty decent helmet, right there. It's not the worst thing ever. Let's see, BRB then Lamau. Yeah, okay, so yeah, like it looks fine whenever it looks like Samus Aran's helmet. You just gotta not look at it in that render that they created. That got leaked. Okay, we're gonna watch that again by that because I got the graphics. I mean, I put the settings back to a proper setting here. But yeah.
Why here?
Live video reaction, yes. I really like this guy's character art. He's cool looking. He doesn't look like any character we've had in Halo before, and that's why I like that. He looks original because he looks like he's like Mongolian. To me, that's what I see. But he's probably like actually a bit like Japanese or something. But as soon as I saw him, I thought of the guy from The Who. One of the lead singers of The Who has a very similar appearance. He's a real guy, a real person though. But yeah. And they only flash his face in this, but that's what I got. That's the impression I got. I immediately was reminded of him. And by The Who, I don't mean the one from the 80s and 70s. You know, I mean The Who, the H-U, not the W-H-O. Like that guy. That triple kill should not have happened yet. He needs to mind the gap before he can get that triple kill. So that was kind of funny. But yeah, this one looks like this one's coming to the community arts room. And then we know this. We played these. Wait, what was it? Wait. What was that one? Wait, hold on. This one. No, this one. Where is it? Perilous? Have we played this one? Is this the one that I like a lot? I don't recognize it from this angle. There's no mushrooms from this angle. Is this the one with all the mushrooms? Because I always forget its name. And That's like my favorite one in the thing. Proud of my boy Art for making it into matchmaking. Trailer was AK. Big team battle then. I mean, let's see. Oh, BRB.
Triumph for me!
So, one thing that's kind of interesting about where the plot is going is notice that they're doing... Okay, so in the show, the terrible TV show, Cortana makes Master Chief a better combatant, right? Supposedly. And now, Iratus, that's his name, forgot it earlier, is turning this Spartan to be either he was already like one of the best Spartans that existed, or all of those dead bodies that were on the ground were because he killed them, maybe? And if he killed them and he's the reason that those guys died, then that would imply that they're going with that in the main lore as well, that humans enhanced with AI are superior to regular Spartans. And if that is the direction they're going in the plot, then we're going to see some similar overlap between the plot and the show, not necessarily what's happening now. Holy shit. Yeah, wait, from the trailer? Or are you just getting back from the trailer? OMG. Yeah, I'm liking this trailer. It looks good. Personally. Let's see. Yes. Yeah, so I was just talking about how, like, the plot, the direction that they're going is like... Yeah, okay, that's that one. I remember that phase where everyone on Earth was remaking their rooms in Forge. Yeah, I'm seeing people doing that right now. Are people still not still doing it? Because I looked into the thing and everybody was like, that's all that was in there. It seemed like the custom game browser, incredible. See, the cinematics look incredible. That didn't last long and was also annoying. Oh, the rooms. Yeah, they do look incredible. I really like that. Trailer was meh. I don't know about that. I mean, like it wasn't like I wouldn't say meh. I would say, still pretty good. At least, right? But yeah, it's it's a teaser trailer, you know what I mean? It's not supposed to be like, yeah. I'm still proud of Art Noob, though. I think I just peed a little. Basically, yeah. So I think that it looks like they're going in a very similar direction to the shows. Give me Forge fixed and I'm good. Yeah, once Forge, I mean, just more fixed, even. Like it doesn't need to be perfect yet, but just a little more fixed, and I'll be really happy with Season 3. I imagine that we're going to get something like an additional little interview with people like, Forge Lord talking about things like Forge's updates and stuff. That's my theory, or that's my expectation, is to get like an additional little bit of info. But let's bring that one through there and bring this one down. There we go. Okay, what y'all saying? I think yeah. If not, then I'll be on other games. So Forge is definitely going to get fixes. They've talked about that, but the question is what they're going to fix. And that's what I'm really looking forward to. I want to do a little... I would love to see if they have a little interview talking about all the bug fixes from the Forge Lord, because those are honestly, I think they're their most popular videos were the Forge videos right before Forge launched, like on the Halo YouTube channel. Pretty sure like the most like popular videos in a long time were the Forge ones. And so I expect that they're like, yeah, no, let's keep making those. Those were really popular videos, and that gets us, more advertising for the game if people are coming in just to tune in just to find out what's happening in Forge, See, I can bring that right up to that shadow's edge, but I don't want to go any farther than that. Okay, the trailer showed mostly shit we knew, but seeing Art Noob in the trailer was pretty cool. If prefabs aren't fixed, then I don't care to play until Season 3. What I'm looking forward to is magnets being fixed. That's going to be or welding, I mean, welding being fixed. I think welding is going to be like the biggest thing whenever they finally fix it, because like the pump shroud was so hard to script, but if season 3 comes out and they're like, yeah, welding is fixed and it works perfectly, then like anyone can just go in there and throw together an easy thing for that pump shroud. It'll be like nothing once that comes in. And yeah, it's gonna be, if they can get that to sync across the server properly, then it'd be perfect. But yeah, I think that so prefabs are like really annoying that they're broken, but I feel like one of the most impactful things to forge is gonna be the welding tool once they get it, you know, up to snuff and working. So that should be good for that light. But yeah, the I can't wait. I mean, like I honestly am like really excited about that the storyline of this one. I'm glad that they took the criticism that their plot lines were really boring, and went in a really good direction with it, because these trailers, like that trailer was basically it's leaps and bounds ahead of like the plot line of what was happening with the last one, with the, you know, hey Spartan, how's it going? Come play multiplayer with me while we, you know what I mean? Kind of just want water, really. Water is going to be good. Water is going to be a huge addition, for sure. I think you're right. But obviously I'm waiting for water too. You guys know that. But whenever water is here, we're going to be like, yeah, I don't know. I think that the, which one is this? Oh, this is the wrong one. This one. That's the one I want. I can do most of my ideas without water. Or I can't do most of my ideas. And snow. Gotcha. Yeah, I think a lot of ideas are waiting on water, to be honest, because like I've got at least one idea that requires water. This area would definitely make making my glow up version easier, because I'm worried about budget now, because I've been at 96% for like, you know, days, and that's like 100% for me. I didn't explain that to Computron before he started adding things like reflection probes, and I just realized I didn't let him know that, and he was in here adding stuff. I'm just glad it didn't break the map to where I had to like go back to a previous save. But yeah, but you're right. Yeah, no, water is a big deal, and I can't wait for that. But I do think that let's see, that one minus 10, a little more. But yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be big. This I think this season is gonna be huge. I think they're doing a good job with the plot lines so far. That looked really enticing, really interesting, and it's like a more interesting version of what they did in the show, is I guess my take. Because it feels like the show is really just a hot mess, but that feels like something that's actually something I'd actually want to play, you know? I don't know. Finna remaster all my maps when they add water. Yeah. Because, like, yeah, I think there's a lot of maps that are going to be adjusted, I think, once they have water. Let's bring that to 100. Yeah, and then this one to negative 100. And that'll make sure it doesn't waste a whole lot of processing. I like that sharp shadow coming off there. That's cool. I like it. But yeah, there's some bleed through over here from something. I assume it's this light. It's kind of creating that little weird light there, or it could be this one. But yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's my take, I guess. No, I think that, yeah, we're gonna... I don't know. Man, these days whenever I'm tired, I need to get more sleep, because these days whenever I'm tired, I can't even think to talk. I think that the plot is going to be more interesting, like I said, than the show, but it looks like they're going in the same direction. It looks like they're going to incorporate the idea that that Spartans become better with whenever AI are involved, and I think that's going to be a natural evolution from the created plot. I think it's going to make a lot of sense to be like, yeah, no, now the created and the humanity, the reclaimers are going to become one, which is probably a cool direction they could go, and I don't hate that. So I think that would be pretty cool, especially if something like the what are they called? The Eternals? No, what are they called? The Endless, especially because if the Endless, you know, are a threat, right? Then they how we could get around dealing with the fact that they are endless, because if they're endless, then they're way smarter. They've got, you know, if they're actually immortals, then they've got, you know, probably millions of years of experience on humanity, and the only way to overcome that would be to team up with another creature that can make our thinking faster, like our ability to process information faster, and which would be AI. So that's actually a really cool plot, and I hope they go in that direction. I think that would work out really well. I have no idea if that's where they're actually going to go, but I think it would work. But anyway, yeah, no, you were saying, photography, you were saying that it seemed lame because it was stuff we already knew. But the thing is that would have been in production for a while. Like, they would have been making that trailer for a while, and the leaks were not supposed to happen. So they apparently were actual leaks. Like, I was suspecting, like a lot of people, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I was suspecting, like a lot of people, that the leaks were fake. They were like intentional leaks that were supposed to be like, yeah, let's make people stop complaining about, or talking about this, the layoffs by, you know, leaking information about the next season, you know, and that people were worried that oh, that's the top. That's not what I want. I mean, actually, I could bring down the top. It doesn't need to be this high, and in fact, it can be 0, I think, because maybe 1, because then the light, yeah, it doesn't bleed up onto the roof, because it shouldn't be bleeding up onto the roof. There's some bleed through coming from, oh wait, no, that's this light. Okay, cool. So this one should also be 1. Basically, I was thinking, a lot of people were thinking, and I was definitely with them, that they were trying to, you know, they're playing a little game of essentially propaganda, I guess, but no, advertising, PR, a PR game. It's not politics, so it's not propaganda. But they were playing a PR game, I thought, you know, and they were trying to make sure that people didn't think that they were not making stuff for Halo Infinite, because then people would stop buying cosmetics. I'm sure they immediately saw a sharp decline in sales of cosmetics as soon as those the layoffs happened, because then people were saying, oh man, it's going to Creative Assembly, you know, this game's dead or whatever. They're falsely claiming the game is dead and saying shit like and basically probably just not buying the game, you know, any cosmetics anymore, which was probably horribly hurting the game's sales and making it not really make as much money all of a sudden, like overnight. And so those leaks actually probably saved their ass, because if you think about it, because they had to, you know, they fixed it. You know, it got everyone talking about what was happening next in the story, and started talking about, you know, and getting excited for the next season. And I think that was kind of a saving grace that came along because of that. So whoever did leak that at the company probably actually helped the company a little bit, but unfortunately, like you said, with stuff we already know now. So now the trailer isn't as interesting, because the trailer didn't, you know, it's just all about this the leaked content. So all we got to see though was that the actual play out of the story. Yes, the story is was going to happen. We knew that, but at least now we've seen the kind of idea of how it's playing out. We've also seen that character's face. He was in the previous season. He didn't exist. We didn't get to see what his face looked like. And maybe there was something online that I missed, like a random Waypoint article that had their faces whenever they weren't wearing their helmets or something. But that was the first time I saw his face, and I thought that was pretty cool. That we're actually seeing a Spartan with an actual personality. You know what I mean? Agrina was the only one so far that like really had a face and a personality, and now we've got another character to actually see and know, like, you know what I mean? So there are a lot of things about this trailer I think we're dubs, as they say. I think we're absolute wins. But I think that I'm really excited for the next season. Is all I'm saying. But yeah, I don't know about you guys. Oh, I do know about you guys. You were telling me. I don't know what you would think of that, but what I was saying. But yeah. Let's see. Let's bring this in and line it up. We'll go here because I want to get that little corner. I don't want that to get, you know, covered up. And I think this one, yeah. And then we'll go to 17.5 because that light should be roughly center, if not perfectly centered. It'll keep that light from bleeding up onto the upper area if it was doing so. I'm looking forward to season 3 as well. It's all about the money for 343 in the end. Yeah, from you know, Ocom. Is that the first time you've talked Ocom today? Or for a while? I think you said something a while back, but I didn't know you were in the stream. Yeah, I heard that you were still in, because it's telling me there's only 2 people here and there's like 4 or 5 people talking. So I know that they're not tracking things right unless someone's coming and going. But yeah, I think that somebody, like, it's not tracking somebody because they're like on their phone in a certain way or something that's not making it to where you can't tell. But it makes me confused because then like people show up and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you were here. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah. Or Microsoft 343 probably has employees who love Halo, but Microsoft looks for the money. Yeah. I think that the yeah, I agree. The worst thing that has happened. Oh, I'm on the bottom. That's what's going on. Let's go negative 50 again. I'll fix that in a second. I thought I went to the wrong direction. The worst thing that happened to the video game industry, in my opinion, is this contractor shit. If you look at the history of the video game industry and you look at when the trends started to fail and games started to suck, it actually happened right whenever EA and Activision and Microsoft all started doing the contractor position for QA. They're like, oh, quality assurance doesn't matter. It's like, yes, it does. It's extremely important, and you need to start, you know, respecting the QA testers. But they don't. Oh boy, I got into that weird bug where like it's mouse and keyboard, but it's not, and it won't let me move. See if I can find something I can select and see if that'll help. No. Yeah, it's that weird bug. Like, Forge, for example, needed its own dedicated QA team, but I bet Microsoft didn't give them the money to hire a separate QA team, so they probably had to just take away QA from the main game. Let's see if just closing and reopening just the map instead of having to close the whole game will work. But anyway, the point is that like Forge mode is something that's so big. Yes, it absolutely should have had its own dedicated QA, but I have no idea if it did, because you can go look at their credits. They have a lot of QA in there, but it's like the problem is with the contractor positions, we can't look at that QA section and go, man, look at that. They had like 500 freaking QA testers on this game or something like that. We look at that and go, okay, at some point, up to 500 employees worked here total over the entire period. You know, at some point this person worked here, and maybe it was only for a month at the beginning of the game. You know what I mean? Or like 6 months at the beginning, or even a year. But the point is their contracts expire, and so they end up, whenever you see like there's 500 testers on something, it's not accurate, because in reality the team was probably like, you know, 100 people, 200 people at most at any given point in time, and that was whenever they're at full swing. You know what I mean? Because the game took 6 years to develop, and you know what I mean, like they were probably having QA for early on, a small QA team, and then it ramped up eventually. But they probably had a small QA team for their engine build whenever they were like rebuilding into build slip space. So like what they really, that video game industry in general is just, that was the turning point. If you go, like I said, if you go back to history and you look at where the contract position started, that is literally the threshold where all of the games started getting worse. That's literally when EA went to that, that's when, oh yeah, I still can't move the joystick. I'm going to have to reboot the whole game. But yeah, whenever EA went to that, it's funny that I'm dealing with bugs while talking about the quality, the QA issue in the video game industry right now. But basically, whenever EA went to contract positions was whenever EA started becoming the butt of every joke. And at that time, Microsoft was already doing, I believe, contractors. But their contractors were like 10-year contractors. They were working there for 10 years. So at the time, it wasn't a problem. The problem, the only reason that it was an issue is that, or the only reason they did it was so they could, like, the way that they did the, like, employment, like, you can fire them easily, you can do all sorts of other stuff, you don't have to do as much, what do you call it, some of the, what are they called, the, for some reason it's not coming to mind, you know, health insurance, stuff like that, that all registers differently. You can go through the health insurance of the employment agency you're going through instead of having to pay for it directly or whatever. You can let them do it. And the contracting agency is like, you know, it's a third party where now Microsoft has one lump sum bill instead of paying a whole bunch of employees and their, you know, and their taxes and stuff like that the way that they would. Instead, labor company bills them, and it's one giant lump sum either at the end of the year or at the end of the month, depending on which company you're working with. Different companies do different things. I think I heard Pro Unlimited, which was the one that did EA, was at the end of every month, I think EA would pay them, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But then basically, like, the way that it works out is, like, it ends up just, you know, like I said, if you go back and look at the history, it's right whenever everything got worse. And then as each company switches to shorter and shorter contracts, their games get shittier and shittier and buggier. And you can literally track it on history if you pay attention to their hiring practices like that. And that's why, for example, Nintendo, who has, I think they do contractors, but they are like Microsoft used to be. Their contractors are there for the entire length of the game, or even longer, like 10 years. So, like, and Sony does that too. Sony hires people for the entire length of the game, and that's why you get games like God of War. But that's like their first parties. You know, they still do third-party contracts, and then so you still get games on Sony consoles that have a lot of bugs, like because EA is on Sony. But like EA doesn't tend to make games for Nintendo consoles anymore. Like ever since like the Wii U, I think they do for the Switch again, but not all the time, because the graphics, the massive disparity. What's the word? Difference between the graphics of the other consoles and the Nintendo consoles just makes it to where porting them there is very difficult. And basically, yeah, they just, you know. Yeah, I don't know. It's just it's not gonna get much better until they stop doing that. That's literally when it's gonna get better. But video games are gonna continue to be buggy like this until it stops. And like, yeah, I don't know. No one's gonna be any better off. That's why I like Nintendo. That's why I'm always, you know, like fanboying about Nintendo, is because Nintendo doesn't do that. Nintendo very specifically doesn't do that. Their games come out and they're worth playing because they're not buggy. They're not shitty right out of the gate. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a thing. I don't want this line here. I made this way too small. But yeah. That was a whole rant. But that's my view on QA and the industry right now and what's going on. It's very iffy. Who else here watches College Humor and every time they hear iffy now thinks of Iffy Waddy Way? Anytime I say the word iffy, I'm like, that's a guy's name. How am I supposed to refer to this person? And then I was supposed to say this word now. It's a person's name now in my head. Anyway, sorry, that's off topic. Totally different. That's me being tired. Now I'm tired, so as soon as that topic ended, my brain just like, I'm completely on another topic right now, internally. But if you guys don't have anything to say about it or want to talk about it, then I can keep going. I can talk some more about it if you have any questions or anything. But yeah. I mean, I guess that sums it up. So I don't know if you'll have any questions, but you know. Okay, I'm on blue side now, right? No, I'm on red side. So I already adjusted these. Okay, I need to go to the blue side and adjust those because I haven't done that yet. Blue side's the darker side, and it kind of looks cool, being like all in shadow over here versus over there, with it being all bright. You've been a QA tester? Yeah, I have. I worked for Electronic Arts. I did my favorite game that I tested, and I highly suggested if you like arcadey kind of styles games, would be Warp. That was great. But yeah. Which one is moving? I'm on the bottom. That's why it's moving. Weird. Okay. That was, I think, 50? Was that 50? Was 50 enough? No, I had to go to like minus 70, I think. Yeah. But yeah. It's that's actually where I met my wife. We both worked at Electronic Arts. And I tested the first game I ever tested. Was technically an NBA game for like a week, and then they moved me over to another area because they didn't actually need someone there. They were just like, we have a new tester and we want you to sort of kind of train him. But they didn't really. Ooh, that is a very sharp edge. Yeah, no, I need to go with the 150 that it was before, apparently. Oh, that's right. I only brought in the back side on the other one. Was that the back side? Yeah, that's the back side there. So minus 60. And then these sides, these were all at the full extent, I believe. But yeah, amazing. Yeah, so I tested NBA, one of the NBA titles, I forget which one it was even by now, for like a week, and then they moved me over to Monopoly Streets, because Monopoly Streets had released, but there was a bug that was corrupting people's save files, like completely wrecking their save files, and they were like, we really need to find this. The forums are all complaining about it. And then so I was on that for a month, and I kept telling them, I have tried everything. I promise it's the save file program itself. The save system is what's bugged. That's what's broken. You need to look into that code. And I was brand new, so of course they weren't going to listen to me. But we had a couple people that were all like, saying the same thing. There were like 4 of us on it. Maybe just 3 of us. Anyway, and then basically, eventually they were like, one guy came over and was like, who I worked under eventually. He's a cool boss, awesome. His name was Kirk Nedgerberg. He was really awesome. He came over and whispered to my then lead, was like, hey, I need someone, like 1 or 2 people for Dragon Age. And my boss at the time, Russ, was like, he's like, well, I kind of have a few people extra over here because of the way this is going. I could probably send you over. Well, there's Will here, and I turned around, like I react. I was just like, Will. I was like, William, or something like that. Just turned around and looked at him, and I just heard them over my shoulder, and I just heard my name. I kind of vaguely heard that conversation, and then I didn't really process it until I heard my name, and then like my brain backtracked to hear what I had heard. You know what I mean? You know how that works sometimes. And basically I was like, William? And he was like, yeah, William, here you go. And I was like, and he was like, yeah, okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll bring him over to Dragon Age. And so I went over and tested Dragon Age 2 DLC for the next like 6 months or something like that. But yeah, the small update for the hyperbolic time chamber is almost done. Oh, cool. Very cool. Let's see. And that was just like, it was pretty funny. And that's how I got moved over to Dragon Age, and much preferred it to testing the other ones. Why does the lighting does it feel bled out to you? Like, I feel like somehow something happened. Maybe in rebooting the game, like this transition looks really sharp, like really weirdly sharp or something. And then there's like tunnels. Do you think that my reflection volumes that I put in those tunnels somehow messed up the reflection volumes up here? Or maybe the ones that are down inside here messed this up? Because this might be what he was talking about whenever he was telling me about the stuff involving the parallax. But yeah, so yeah, basically I worked on those. I also worked on Warp though. Like Dragon Age 2 was not that great, but the Dragon Age DLC I tested happened to be the really good one. With you know, the what are they called? I didn't play I never actually went through and played all through Dragon Age. I think I need to. The transitions are wrong, or I need to rebuild the reflection volumes. Let's rebuild the reflection volumes, see if that fixes it, and if it doesn't, then I'll go and look into the parallax settings. But yeah, so it's the one where you go to the manor and there's like the wyverns, and it's like the Italian faction basically, style faction. They're kind of like halfway between French and Italian. That definitely seems to have done something, but it's still sharp over there, but then it's like not sharp over here, and then it's sharp over here. I don't know. I might need to place, this is what he was saying, Computron was saying, that I might need to put some on the sides of the building on the outside, and that might be because the inside ones are confusing it, you know, and that would definitely explain a lot. But yeah, so that's cool though about the hyperbolic time chamber update. I just went over and saw you said that again. I don't know. I'm still new to this whole the reflection volume, so pardon me for not knowing how to fix this issue right away. But I mean, you guys know. But parallax off maybe inside here. The newest one that I placed was the one inside the central structure, so that's probably where the problem is. But I'm going to turn off parallax on all of these and rebuild the and of course it's just reflection volume, so it's going to take a second, not a long time, and rebuild that. But yeah, QA is it's more complicated than you'd think, because you have to actually be good at, if you're going to be good at it, then it's more complicated than you might think. But yeah, why did you have a reflection volume on the floor? Oh, because I clipped it into the floor like an idiot. No, I'm trying to make it as low as possible to try and capture these lights with it. So I tried to put it as low as possible, and it clipped into the floor, and I know it's probably a problem, but I hadn't adjusted it yet. I was going to do that. I was considering that. But yeah. But you can, maybe Ocom, if you know a better way to do that. I mean, obviously you want this to usually be around the height of someone's face, but the problem is that that ends up not catching the light there as easily. So maybe you've got a better solution than putting it on the floor. It's mainly just me organizing the hyperbolic time chamber into different folders. Oh, cool, yeah. That's what I had to do eventually. You gotta eventually just, yeah. And reorganize the entire map. Okay, so let's see. I will show you what this looks like. It's hard to catch those you know, hidden underside light lines. If you're still here, Ocom, I'll just show you real quick. I don't know, maybe it's working out just as well as it was before. I was hoping to make it light up the room a little better. You know what I mean? Like make the floor look brighter. Because that's perfectly fine how dark it is up there, but it should be a little bit brighter down here. One thing I hope they do is create volumes that you can put into the map that turn off this effect, the dripping. Like as long as you're inside this volume, the dripping will, that dripping will you know, effect will stop. Because that's just a camera effect. It looks like it's a 3D effect. It might even be a 3D effect around you, but I'm pretty sure it's just a camera effect. It might be, like I said, it might be like an object that's flying. That's a little effects object that's following you around that just creates those little water droplets. But if they just turn that off inside here, for example, then I wouldn't have to have dripping inside the room. Yeah, from my knowledge of reflection volumes / cube maps from making a CSGO map, I was told to place them at head level because then they show up most realistic from players' POV, but I've been seeing more people say to put them way up in the air in Infinite. Yeah, I've found that. So actually, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna say, because I've got these neon lights up here as well, I could put it up high enough to pick up those, and then it would reflect those off of this ground as if they're much closer and look like they're these, but then I don't have those here, and I need it to be in this little bend, or else I can't get the whole hallway. So, yeah. The weird thing to me is that it's cave. Like, whenever you look at this, it looks like a cave. It looks like it's blending the outdoor cave with this indoor section. And I don't know if that's messing up somehow or what. Like, it's rocks. And like, you can really tell there's rock on there, I think. Or is that the rusty ceiling? Like, it's really hard to tell. Maybe that is. That could just be the rusty ceiling. I don't know. Anyway. So that's what I was doing, was I was putting it down really low. I can put it right above the ground maybe instead of clipping into it and see how that comes out. But I was trying to get the floor to reflect those neon lights. And since I've got to do it on both sides of the hallway, you know, it's kind of a little weird. But yeah. Yeah. Alright, so it's actually about time for me to get off. My daughter's coming in here, so I've got to... Yeah, the floor is a little bit brighter now. It does seem to be shining a little bit differently. Yeah, that's why I put it low. You kind of get the... because it's so close to those plasma grenades, like it's picking up that blue and applying it across this entire room, as you can see. Which is kind of interesting. It doesn't look awful, but it kind of looks weird. So I had to, one time I built it by, I hid the grenades before building it, so that made that go away. The thing that I posted yesterday in your Discord on what they did on detachment. Okay, okay. I've been seeing, okay. No, there we go. You can make a emissive box under the tunnel and place the reflection volume there if you want everything inside the volume to reflect emissive. The thing that I posted yesterday in your Discord on what they did on detachment. Make a box with artificial reflections. I wonder if I could make a box that like has dark up top, emissive down below, that kind of looks like it's coming down. You know what I mean? Like build a little tiny version of this hallway essentially and have it like shine down on it and then be like, I don't know. I wonder if I could do that so it's nice and dark up top. But I don't know. I'm no good at I'm not good yet at these. Oh wait, I have parallax on for that. I thought I turned that off for them, but I must have turned it back on or something. Oh, I turned it off for this one. So what do I do with the parallax? Computron was saying there's something about that, but yesterday, and actually, like I said, I've kind of got to go. My kids are needing attention, essentially. Let me set this back to parallax, because I think I turned that one off. Did I turn this one off and not turn it back on just now? I did. Okay. Bedtime soon. Yeah, it's time for me to get off too. Make a box with artificial reflection. See, yeah, just change the textures of the box. You have 6 sides to work with. Okay. So basically, if I make it to where it's like the ceiling is lit up, then it'll glow onto the floor. But if I make it pitch black on the bottom, then it'll make the top dark. Can I do that? Is that basically what I could do? And then put like a divider in between at some height that will make the glow only appear on the walls of that reflection volume, like coming up to a certain point, and then that would be right where my lights are. I imagine that's basically how it's done. I do have a slope involved, so trying to build it off of this, like here's a ramp over here, so I'd probably want to, my divider that divides the glowing roof inside my little box from the pitch black bottom would need to be slanted slightly so that like where the glow is coming on the wall might go up, maybe. Actually no, the slope is slanted, but these lines are all straight, so I could just do a straight line across and then have it be darker up top and allow that reflection to just do its own like sort of natural light thing that it'll do. Because it will do a little bit of that light will reflect onto that a little bit, just not in the reflection volumes layer, so it won't like blend in anyway, or so it'll kind of like blend together. But yeah, you just change the textures of the box. You have 6 sides to work with. So I think I know how to do that. Boxes are annoying. I kind of wish that... Oh. I was just about to say, I kind of wish that they had an object that was just like a box that you could scale. That would be the interior of a box. It just occurred to me, we probably have like a Traxxas crate that has like all sides but one opening that we could use for that, so we don't use up a lot of our budget to create these boxes. And all we have to do is block off that one side, which I could put the top as the one side that I block off, and put the emissive object inside of the door, the opening on the crate. I don't know if this crate exists anywhere. I'm just theorizing there's a crate in there that I've forgotten about, that basically allows you to go inside, like in Halo 3, for example, and Halo Reach. And if we can do that, then like you could just rotate the door, the opening to the top. I can put the emissive object in the opening to block it off, and then put a divider through the middle of the, like a divider plane that's as flat as possible, object that can go right through the reflection volume and cut off the dark, to make a dark side and a light side inside of the box, and then adjust where it's that divider's height is to just create that light on the lowest part. That might work. Yeah. So I might do that off stream though, because I got to go. So if it works, then you'll see it. Then I'll show you next stream. I'll probably do it off stream later tonight or something like that. But yeah, I got to get going. And yeah. So we had a trailer. We had talk about QA testing and business practices, shitty, toxic business practices that harms the end user and the end product, as well as the employees at the expense. They're all the expense of propping up the budget of the company that they work for, or the company that's producing the object. And of course, it also harms your reputation, because then you have EA being the worst company in the world, getting the Golden Poo Award like 5 times, like 5 years running, beating out Banks. It's insane. And then yeah, we got like a whole bunch of stuff we talked about today. But yeah, we'll yeah. I'll catch you guys